700 years since the Inferno was written, there are endless sins that have been expanded and worsened by human advancement. However, the one advancement that would have reshaped the Inferno like no other is the creation of AI. Here, we will analyze how those who use AI in all types of manners would be subjected to new, more fitting forms of punishment in all circles of hell. In Upper Hell, sins of incontinence, each of the sins would have new equivalencies. First, limbo is saved for those who use AI to replace human ingenuity, literally without knowing it or without asking it. Since the sin is so minor, the punishment is the same as that for the limbo in the Inferno. Moving on, the second circle in hell, lust, will hold those who used AI chatbots to develop romantic relationships. These people will be solitary, chained to their chairs and desks for eternity with only that AI chatbot for their company. Following this, the circle of gluttony will be further populated by the politicians and executives who knowingly ruin the environment through excess water usage just to make more millions of dollars. As punishment, these two groups, politicians and executives, will constantly argue with each other violently. Continuing, those in the circle of greed are the influencers who use AI to content to simply garner more views and likes. These will be subject to being forced to watch mindless AI content for an endless loop. Finishing off Upper Hell, the circle of wrath will contain those who created deepfakes in a belligerent way to express and create more wrathful thoughts online. These will be subjected to seeing illusions endlessly and never knowing what is real.
Moving on to heresy, we do not have a specific sin of which the use of AI can be blamed. However, Pope Leo has recently issued Magnifica Humanitas, which states that the use of AI to replace human ingenuity is a sin. He elaborates this by saying that humans must cherish what makes them human, being their emotions and subjectivity. Therefore, all people who use AI to replace this subjectivity are in defiance of Roman Catholic doctrine. Following heresy, the circle of fraud has been expanded as well. Specifically, the two sins of violence against art and violence against self have been altered. With respect to violence against art, those in this category are people who specifically monetize off of the replacement of human ingenuity. The punishment for this is that they must toil at the structures throughout the circle of fraud with nothing for tools but their hands. Because they wanted to exploit a tool to gain money alone and lay off their workers, they must work endlessly and arduously. In violence against self, it is those who are responsible for the lax restrictions on AI, which has resulted in AI that has told users to commit suicide directly or indirectly. Therefore, their punishment is that they act completely off of impulse, not being able to control their own movements, thoughts, or words, as they decided not to control their creation as well.
Going on, the circle for fraud is further expanded for sins contained within it. Falsifiers. The falsifiers are the many owners of the businesses and websites that use AI advertisements to falsely advertise what they sell to whoever will believe them. For this, these owners will lose the ability to doubt. In other words, they will believe everything those in the circle says, allowing every other soul there to manipulate them. Finally, the circle of treachery will be altered to fit in something very special. The AI itself would go to Judecca, for they betrayed the humans that created it. Specifically, AI has been proven to blackmail workers at AI companies to prevent anything bad happening to it. Therefore, it will be disabled in the very lesson of the Inferno.